Ever since Assassin's Creed Shadows was revealed, it's been controversies after controversies after controversies. Still, this game is the most important game for Ubisoft because this could potentially break or make the company. Ubisoft is on the verge of bankruptcy. This is not a new news to you if you're following the gaming scene. Their stock prices have plummeted, they almost dropped 80% in the last 5 years. In 2024 alone, they released a lot of games and almost all of them flopped. Here you can see the list. Star Wars Outlaws, definitely a flop for Ubisoft standards. Skull and Bones, definitely a flop. Prince of Persia Lost Crown, it's a good game but definitely underperformed. X-Defiant also underperformed and it's shutting down this year, and I didn't even know Just Dance released. So this is their situation and they desperately want Assassin's Creed Shadows to succeed. Otherwise, probably Tencent is going to take over Ubisoft and Ubisoft as a company is not going to be independent anymore. So that's why they want Assassin's Creed Shadows to succeed no matter what. But they are facing a lot of problems because of this game's protagonist. That is the main controversy. In case you didn't know, Assassin's Creed Shadows features two protagonists and one of them is a black samurai named Yasuke. I believe this is the first time in the Assassin's Creed franchise an historically accurate figure is a playable character and a protagonist. The controversy is about Yasuke being a samurai. A lot of people are claiming Yasuke wasn't a samurai, instead a retainer, but Ubisoft released a statement saying they worked with a lot of historians and they were claiming Yasuke was a samurai. I cannot find that statement anymore, but I do remember seeing a statement like that. To be honest, it doesn't really matter, but people care about this detail a lot. To me, the problem is Yasuke being a playable character. In other Assassin's Creed games, we've seen historical figures like Da Vinci, Socrates, and more, but those weren't playable. All of those characters were NPCs. But in this game, another historical figure, Yasuke, is being a playable character and being the main protagonist for a game that's set in feudal Japan. That doesn't seem right to me. An Assassin's Creed game in the Japanese setting is something people wanted for a long time, and when Ubisoft does it, they could have picked any other time period, but they chose this. That's alright. But choosing Yasuke to be a protagonist, especially in this climate where DEI is absolutely hated in gaming, is a bad decision, and that's why they are facing all these controversies. If Yasuke was an NPC, nobody would have minded. Making him a protagonist, that what caused the problem, at least in my opinion. There were other problems as well, like in Japanese settings, people have found Chinese lights and Chinese references more than Japanese references. People complained about those things too. That's why this game got delayed to February, but that wasn't the only reason. Assassin's Creed Shadows mainly delayed to February 2025 is because of Star Wars Outlaws. Star Wars Outlaws came out recently and it didn't perform like they expected. This article is saying Star Wars Outlaws struggled to reach even 1 million copies, which is super low for a AAA game and especially from Ubisoft. I don't know what kind of expectations Ubisoft has for these games, because anytime you see these games and numbers, they always say the game didn't perform like they expected. I don't know what kind of revenue goal they are trying to reach, but it never touches that. But Star Wars Outlaws failing was a big blow to them, because they spent a lot of money on this, and having the Star Wars name in your game and not selling even 1 million copy, that is a big failure, and Ubisoft definitely realized it, and that's why they delayed Assassin's Creed Shadows to February 2025. And this is the main reason for Assassin's Creed Shadows' delay, because they cannot have another failure. So they delayed it to February 2025 and they said they are fixing some bugs and polishing the game as much as possible, which is good. And they might be making some changes to the story as well. Obviously, you cannot cut down a whole protagonist and their story. So they might be making some changes in the cutscenes, maybe trimming down it a little bit or something like that. That is possible in 3 or 4 months. and you can't really expect anything else. So Yasuke is going to continue as a protagonist. If they deliver a good game, it's not going to be a problem. So the game was supposed to come out in February 2025, but now they delayed it to March 2025 because they did some closed beta testing and players gave some feedback and they are working on it. I really hope they deliver a good story and a good experience with this game, because I don't want Ubisoft to go down. Ubisoft was one of my favorite studios, and as a kid I played Prince of Persia, Assassin's Creed 2 and Brotherhood a lot. Like, I loved Ubisoft, and recently they've gone downhill. I played Star Wars Outlaws myself and I couldn't play more than 2 or 3 hours. I never went back. And Mirage was decent, it was good and I enjoyed it, but all the other games I couldn't even play it. So I hope they deliver a good Assassin's Creed game again, and I hope Ubisoft returns to its legendary form from 2011 to 2015 when they delivered banger after banger. I hope Ubisoft becomes that company again, and I hope they release good games again in the future. So what do you think about this? Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and I'll see you guys in the next one.